Hi ladies and gentlemen, Chet here from Avion Technology here in the Chicagoland area. We are a digital agency that works with other digital agencies to help scale them up, make them profitable, turn them around. We also work with a lot of small businesses to create an exquisite digital presence for them, whether it's a website, whether it's an app, or whether it's digital marketing. So today I'm going to talk about consulting companies and the must-have functionality within a consulting company's website. So when I talk about consulting companies, right, I'm not talking about the Deloittes, the KPMGs, the Bains, the Boston Consulting Groups of the world. I'm talking about small consulting companies like solopreneurs, 2 partners, 3 partners. So those are the companies that I'm talking about. Most of these guys get their new business from the networks that they had when they were probably doing their job before, or they are part of some local chamber of commerce. That's how they got their break. They've been doing this for the last 5-10 years. They get most of their new business through word of mouth or referrals or past clientele, all that kind of stuff. They usually have a dated website, one that they slapped together 10 years back when they started the company, and they don't care right now because they're doing well. But what has happened for a lot of these kind of companies since the pandemic is that a lot of bricks and mortar offline business, offline lead gen has now gone online. And so a lot of these kind of companies today see that they're really not getting the kind of inquiries, they're really not getting the kind of leads that they used to get before, right? So this is probably a good time for a lot of those individuals, companies, solopreneurs to start thinking about creating a new digital presence for them. So this is just an idea. This is just a conversation. I'm sure there's a lot of other things that I'm missing here today, but this is just to get the creative juices flowing. So if you're a smaller agency that has signed on for a new consulting client right now, or if you're a consulting company yourself, take a look at these, and you'll find all of these in the description below, so you can always go through it at your own pace. First is have a very clear value proposition, right? If people don't know what you're doing, if people don't know what you bring to the table, there's very little chance that they're going to proceed past the home page, right? They're going to probably, your website is going to open, they're going to browse around for like a couple of seconds, close it, and do something else. So have a very clear proposition. People should know what you do, number one. Number two, service descriptions. This is especially true for service businesses like consulting companies, lawyers, CPAs. They all have different service areas. They all have different service offerings. It's extremely important people know what you do, why you do it, how long have you been doing it, what are your areas of expertise. Number three, case studies, success stories, right? Social proof. We all like social proof. We all want to know who else has done it before we sign on. That's human mentality. No one wants to be the first one, right? Now, I have also noticed since the pandemic that a lot of folks actually do their due diligence before they've called someone, right? So if you have a case studies or a success stories section on your website, chances are that someone will read it, go through it, and then give you a call, right? It used to not always be like this before. Before, you had folks who would call you, speak with you, have that initial consultation, then go to your website, check it out. That has changed. People now do all that stuff before they even give you the first call. So next is testimonials, reviews. Again, goes back to the whole social proof thing. People want to talk, people want to know, people want to read stuff about you before they've contacted you. No one wants to be the first one to do anything. In fact, I read somewhere that 92% of the people, before they go to a restaurant, actually check it out on Yelp or check out their Google reviews before they've gone ahead and gone to the restaurant. So we all live in an insanely interconnected age. We all live in a hyper-connected age, and every one of us wants to know what someone else has done before we go ahead and do it. Next, blog insights, right? For services companies, lawyers, doctors, consulting companies, CPAs, it's extremely important that you showcase your subject matter expertise. Now, how do you do that? You do that through blogs, you do that through video, like vlogs, you do that through white papers, right? Case studies. So extremely important that you showcase how deep you know what you're doing. Contact info goes without saying, but I have been to websites where they did not have contact info, they did not have the store hours, they did not have the hours of operation, they did not have their phone numbers, they did not have email addresses. So it's not just about having the contact info, it's also having the contact info at the right place It should not be tucked somewhere deep inside the footer with like like a 6 pixel kind, 6px kind of a font. No, it should be extremely obvious so that if anyone wants to contact you, they can do that right away. Bios, expertise, again goes back to the whole due diligence. People want to go to a doctor who knows what he's doing, right? People want to go to a lawyer who knows what he's doing. So similarly for a consulting company, people want to go to a person, read their bio, see where they graduated from, see where they did their PhD from, see where they did their MBA from, see what their major was, see any papers that they have written, see if they're a part of any organization, they're a part of any, they've received any awards, all that kind of stuff. Definitely sells. Next is interactive features. Interactive features increase engagement. Engagement increases clicks. Clicks increases leads. Leads increases your business. So make sure your site has interactive features, right? What are interactive features? Micro animations, for example. Interactive features could be something like a contact us form, which is done really well. That's an interactive feature. Or an interactive feature could be like a little video that pops up, or a little video that you can see if you click on a button. Something where the user can interact with the website, right? It increases the engagement. Search, again, not everyone who's coming to your site knows what they want, right? Sometimes they have like an ambiguous idea of what they want. Then for that person to get to the right place, they need search. Next is lead gen. Extremely important. Have a very obvious, have an extremely in your face kind of lead gen form, especially if you're a smaller company, right? You need your lead gen form to be pretty obvious, because otherwise how are people going to contact you? Moreover, it's not just enough to have a lead gen form. Make sure that the lead gen form connects to your email so that you get it and is not intercepted by any third parties, because in today's day and age, God knows how many people are trying to access your leads, right? So make sure that this is done via something very secure. Next is CTA, calls to action, right? There are three main parts of a website, in my opinion. Number one is the part which is above the fold. Number two is the nav. And number three are the calls to action. These are the little buttons which tell you what you should do, where you should go, right? You should click here, you should download a brochure, you should connect with us, whatever that call to action is, but it should be very obvious so that people know this is what they have to do. I always give the analogy of walking into an airport, right? If you walk into an airport, it says, okay, ticketing this way, customs this way, security check this way. Imagine if none of that was there. How would you know where to go? We would not. So it's the same with a website. Someone who comes to your website for the first time, they have no clue what they're supposed to do. So in that kind of a situation, if you have clear calls to action, they know this is what they have to do. This is how they get to the right section. This is how they get to the right information. As a rule of thumb, make sure that your users do not have to use more than 2 clicks to get to the relevant content. Next is a secure client portal. All websites need this these days, because like for example, if you're a CPA, your clients need to upload their tax documents. If you're a lawyer, they need to probably upload their case paper or something like that. So for consulting companies, often there's a lot of things that the clients need to upload. So you definitely need a secure client portal. Social media integration 100% helps. That way all your social media kind of feeds into your website and vice versa. Next is analytics and tracking, Google Analytics, right? Extremely important. Something that most small businesses ignore is analytics. Who's coming to your site? Where are they coming from? What keywords are they using? Is it organic? Is it coming through a search engine? Is some other site referring them? What device are they using? Which demographic do they belong to? Are they in Florida or are they in California? All of this information you can get through Google Analytics, right? Problem is, most website owners don't have a clue what their analytics are. And the first rule I always say about a website is that if you don't know where your users are coming from, then you would not know where to take them, right? There's a saying, if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going to go. So similarly for a website, if you don't know where your users are coming from, you have no idea where to take them, right? And that's not good. So if there's no other takeaway from today's little lecture, the only takeaway is learn your Google Analytics. Go through your Google Analytics, see your Google Analytics code, and see where your users are coming from, right? So that you start seeing some patterns. Next is compliances. I know there's GDPR. So if you're operating within the European region, you have GDPR. And then there's accessibility, right? You have accessibility, so especially if your website is responsive, if your website make sure that it's accessible across devices, accessible across browsers. It's extremely important that your website is accessible. There's also ADA compliance, right? Americans with disabilities, make sure that folks who have hearing impairment, who have visual impairment, can check out your website. So in a nutshell, a lot of stuff, but just some ideas to get the creative juices flowing. You don't have to do all of these, but it's always a good idea to know. Here at Avion, we've done websites which incorporate most of these things. So if you have a consulting company, send us your project idea, or let's have a conversation. I'm sure we will be able to add value. Similarly, if you're an agency, let us know. We would love, we would definitely be able to add value to the discussion. This is a business which is, there's no competition, right? It's all about collaboration. It's all about getting more people into the conversation, because it's a visual field, it's a creative field, and creative field always improves with conversation. So if you like this content, press like. If you want to subscribe, press subscribe. Otherwise, click on the bell icon to get notified every time we upload a video. Check here from Avion Technology. These are my coordinates. Give me a shout if you have a project. Otherwise, it's Wednesday today, so it's the middle of the week. I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, with another video about a different industry and what are some amazing websites within that industry, what are some amazing must-have functionality within that industry. Thank you so much. Take care, and you have yourself an amazing rest of the day. Thank you.